instrument. They must have plugged it in, but you see the way it's still sinking into the floors right there? That's what you want to see. It looks identical to that. You know, look at all the routes. Look how beautiful everything looks right there.
What you boys looking at?
That's a 59 burst, Pookie. Yeah, we're going over this. Couple of things to look for as we're going over this guitar. Pull this one out for me, really. Let's check out a PAF.
This is the one that just came in, yeah?
Yeah, it's a 59 that I believe is spoken for. And young Peter here is doing a beautiful fret job for the instrument.
It wouldn't be his first time.
No. No, sir.
So you made that little jig there, so you can work on that board without messing anything up. That little, that's cool, man. Goes right in the pickup holes.
Yeah.
It's a killer, man. That's a nice looking board on that guitar.
It's beautiful. This whole instrument is beautiful. Look at the top on this.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, gorgeous that is, bro.
Yeah, man. That's good shit.
Gorgeous.
Look at this fade around the switch.
I know, man. So gorgeous.
That's killer.
So gorgeous. I love the fade. One of the things I always look for is the fade on the guard.
Yes.
How beautiful that is. You see the complete outline of the guard.
What do you see on those covers? You were just looking at that cover a minute ago.
On the pickup covers?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to do it right here.
Yeah.
So check it out, man. What we're looking for on a PAF is a number of things. I want to look at the solder joints. I want to look at those markings on the feet right there. I don't know if that captures these little impressions on the feet on both sides.
The wells.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
Right? You always
This cover's never been off.
Nope. You always look at the solder joint. You can't fake it. If you would ever try to reconstitute that, you would move it around. You would see an imprint of where it lied before. These covers have never been off. It looks great. If we were to take out these screws, we could look inside with a flashlight and see if they're white bobbins or black bobbins or one of each, and that's what would be a zebra in
I
that
have
case.
a feeling that there's some white in there.
You want to check it out?
I have a feeling.
Peter?
You into that?
Let's take out boom, boom, and we'll put a flashlight in there and we'll see what the bobbins look like, bro.
Yeah.
And then this way you don't have to ever take off the cover to know what bobbins you have.
I thought you never gonna ask me.
Yeah, you're good, brother. You're good, brother. Yeah. So every time an instrument like this comes in, everyone gets super excited.
Yes.
Everyone gets super excited like we do, so we check it out. We actually have another 59 burst in here that Peter's going to be working on as well.
Yes. Original case.
Need it.
You don't need the flash.
No.
Okay.
Just
There you go, man.
What are you seeing?
So inside, what we're seeing, it's probably hard to capture it,
Yeah.
but we're seeing inside of those holes is
Okay.
white.
No kid.
So these are double whites.
Double whites.
Yeah, and when you look at it, you know the difference between, yeah, I mean, you can't, it's either you see nothing because it's completely dark, but that is two white bobbins. So that's a white bobbin PAF. That's the holy grail of holy grails of PAFs, 59 double white. 59 double white. Let's put this one back. Let's check this one out, bro. Let's see if we get a pair of double whites. You usually see double whites on Les Pauls when they're in the 60s.
Yeah.
1960.
Right, 60.
60 would be the year for a ton of
It's killer.
white bobbins.
All right.
I love this. This is great.
Man, double whites.
I love it. I love all of this. This is awesome. I love it. I think before you attempt to work on a burst here at Groom Guitars, each of the guys up here has to be here probably a minimum of 5, 6, 7 years or something
minimum.
like that
Yeah.
before I would say, hey Peter, you're my dude for
Right.
this. He's amazing.
Yeah, man. Peter's done some fine work on some of my guitars, man. Peter, you're killing it, buddy. You're doing great.
always do my best.
Facial hair. Great facial hair.
Bulgarian.
He's got the same back problem issues I do. I relate to him, man. He's got a bad back.
I was dead.
Yeah.
I remember.
I almost see it being dark from 4 feet.
Do you really?
Well, we'll see what happens. What do I know?
Damn.
What is it?
You hit the score.
Is it black?
No, wait.
They're white too?
Double
It's
whites?
crazy white.
Double white.
Just,
So two PAFs, double whites. And if you look at
Wow.
if you look at this instrument as well, if you're gonna study on this PAF, I always look here. Let's do this. This is awesome. Here's a new PAF
Okay.
And people say like, oh, how do you tell the difference between PAF stickers because they look so similar? Let's zoom in on these two stickers and tell me if they look similar.
Tilt them back just a little bit so I get a little more light. Yeah, there you go.
We're looking at the font. You see the pickup on top, how large the font is and how kind of adolescent the letters are. They're almost too good. And it's not silkscreen. If you look on the bottom of it, look at the border of that and look at how small the letters are.
Yeah.
So when folks say, oh, my pickup has a patent applied for sticker, is it original? Well, they're usually really obvious. Then if you look at like the printing that I was talking about before here, you're not going to see any of that on modern pickups, you know?
Right.
There you go, man.
Man, that right there, is the total shit.
Double white. You can see the white from there, bro. Gorgeous, man. You can see the beautiful markings right there. Love it.
Love it. Killer. All right, I'm signing out. Thanks for showing us this. This guitar is sold, yeah?
Yeah, this guitar is spoken for. One more thing. Peter's going to do the fret job on it.
Okay.
Very specific surgery going back here. Now, this was refretted once previously, and it just wasn't right. Peter's going to kill this thing. It's going to be so good. He's going to be mindful of the inlays.
While we're in there, show us about neck tenons.
Oh, sure.
The mystery of the often talked about. What are those cuts?
So check it out. That's going to be your tenon right there. And there's a number of things that we look for. But while we're here looking at the tenon, that's the right size tenon. That's the right stack from the inside that you're looking at. Right? What I'm also looking at is the finish, the way it lays on the raw wood. It needs to look like that. It's not meant to be finished looking.
Right.
That's a great shot. Now check it out. Right under the rings themselves, you see the coloration of what didn't fade. You see the same thing on the ring right here. These are all the things that we're looking for, not to mention from the years of it being on. We have to use all our senses, our eyes, our feel, even the smell. You see me get up here and I'm sniffing around or whatever, but it really makes a huge difference. And by the time everything is done here and we're looking at it, it's only after this that we take it to the blacklight room. Yeah. Because then it'll just confirm some of the things we're seeing. But really in broad daylight is where you get to see everything fully. And this is beautiful. Thank you, Peter.
Right on, boys. So any of you homeschoolers out there who ever wondered about how to tell an original gold bonnet 50s knob from a repro? I mean, obviously not a great repro there, but there's a couple giveaways here.
It's very amber. It's very red in appearance, and that's understandable. The underside is going to look very different as well. Right? That's a little newer, but and you get to see the inside right there as well, right?
I love that green.
Right? No, but check it out. This is a bad repro, but if you look at it in that way right there, where the pot actually bottoms out, is much taller on all the new knobs. The old knobs always rested just above that line.
There's a lot of clear stuff.
There's a lot of clear up there, and on this one, if I could just turn it like that,
there's none.
Is much taller as where the pot stands out. The other thing is that this is supposed to roll over, so it doesn't curve out in that way. It's more of a kind of a bell or whatever it might be. The skirt actually doesn't flay out like that. But once you see it, you can't really unsee it. So there we go, brother.
Tell the homeschoolers what we have determined is the most number one problem that most guys on a bad refret about the bevel. The guys that don't know how to refret guitars. This is the biggest thing to me.
This is it, and this is what it takes to be a repairman. That's like 99 or 100%. The pre-angled bevels that you get from these tool providers or suppliers, the pre-angled bevel is way too steep. If you do it by hand or you fix yourself a jig that doesn't cut it at quite that angle, you have more fret top to work with, and in turn you get to open up your nut slots to the tune of about a 32nd of an inch spread out on 6 strings.
Which makes the guitar feel amazing.
Well, it makes it feel like a completely different guitar, and 99 times out of 100 it becomes
so
better.
Most guys that don't know what they're doing will over bevel the edges of the frets, explain what that means to somebody out there that doesn't know.
Check it out. This instrument originally would have had small nibs. We call those little baby nibs that hug the side of the fret. This instrument, those nibs are gone because whoever did the fret job previously removed them and then went ahead and put these frets in, which is not a problem. That's okay because they're small enough as it is, and if a person's doing a proper refret, they have to make that happen. Either way, the bevel that we're talking about is the angle
Yes.
of the fret itself from the side. So
Right.
if a pre-angled bevel will make your fret end go at it in this angle, well, it takes away like a 32nd from the top. If you just open up
That's
your
all.
bevel a little bit
Yes.
more and round your ends, you get to have more surface
More
area
play
to play.
area.
If
Yes.
if I score a 30-second or a 60, let's say a 30-second here, and I score another 30-second here, I'll always make a new nut and open up that slot
Yes.
and the spacing of it, and then especially for a flat top, it really opens up with
Right.
the open chords in your
Nice
hand. And
wide
yeah.
spacing, and you can play. You don't have your E's falling off the edge of the neck.
You don't, and there's a man, you can push it all the way to the end, and once you got it, the instrument
Love it.
wakes up and it becomes alive, and
Love it.
it really plays. A musician could really appreciate it. Here's another quick thing as I'm looking at it. Here's the switch tip, the big light switch tip, the infamous, right? We're always looking to see how it looks right. Well, you could always tell from the bottom if it's original or not, right? And how slim that is. Right? The colors should remain the same, but on the newer ones, it's actually two pieces. So the top, there's an actual ledge
Okay.
that you could feel with your fingernail because it's two pieces melted
see.
together.
I
The
see.
old original ones are one piece.
I got you.
And that's why a switch tip is around $1,000 these days.
That's
That
an
goes
original
on.
there.
Yeah,
Wow.
that goes on one of these
And I
instruments.
can hand
Yeah.
you a drawer full of those, and you can tell me the originals.
Oh yeah, bro.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Amazing.
Oh yeah.
Amazing.
Oh yeah. I wish I had a newer one here so that we
Yeah.
can compare. Can
I
you
just-
steal one from me, Peter? Something?
I just always assume that any one that I see is a repro. Always, you know.
Yeah, no, man. Once you see a new one and you compare it to something like an old one, it's
Yeah.
night and day. It's night and day. You know, that's one of the things I was telling Peter is to take so many pictures and really have that ingrained in your mind
Another
when
thing
you're looking at it.
I love about Greg and his beautiful refrets is he always pulls the inlays
Right.
out
Right.
of the neck before he starts sanding on that rosewood.
That's it. So even though the sanding is minor, you don't want to mess up that beautiful patina on top and the shrinking that you see take place on the piece of plastic there. You want to recreate all of that. You don't want to take away that look, that cool feel, that you want to recreate that.
Killer.
You know, so properly doing it is taking out the inlays, truing up the board, new frets going in. That's what Peter's doing.
Sometimes you don't have to do that, right? But like only like how many percentage? What percentage of all fret jobs you get full of inlays?
Oh, maybe 10%.
10%. Okay. Yeah.
Really, it's when you're going to make a big correction in the board.
I see.
And you don't
Yeah.
want to blow your inlays or make
see.
them too thin, you know? But on something like this, because the tops themselves have such a unique look to it,
Yep.
you don't want to mess with it, you know? But check this out. Look, we're going to go from the bottom side. And that's a new one, that's an old one.
A lot thicker.
A lot thicker. And
Right.
the walls are different, they're not slim.
Right.
And if you look at the top, look, that's the second piece. Your nail can catch it every single time.
Yep.
That's the second piece. This is
So
a
anytime
solid
you see
piece.
a ridge like that, it's a repro.
That's right. That's right. And actually the shape of it is a little different. I mean they went through, even the new ones went through some changes. The early 50s Les Pauls had slightly different switch tips as well. But in large part, even if this was ambered out, it would look nothing like an original.
Right, exactly.
You know, so once you see it, you cannot see it. It's
Love
not,
it.
you know.
Love it. So did they ever make repros that were one piece that try to look right?
I haven't seen one.
Okay.
I haven't seen one. I haven't seen any.
You
You
ever
know,
seen
unless
that?
I've been being, unless they fooled me.
Right,
And
right,
that's
right.
believable too. But
Okay.
it is what it is. You know.
Thank you, Greg, for your time. Oh, here's some pickup rings. Show them that.
Let's do that.
Show them that.
So check it out on the burst pickup rings. It's
Yes.
right there. So here's what we're looking for on it. You want to look for the M69, on the pickup ring itself. You want to look at that little design right next to it, right? And more importantly, you look at that conical shape that you see coming out of the screws for the mounting ring, right? Looking like that or like that. That's a really good look. If you would take a modern, a more modern ring, well, when you put it next to it, it looks completely different.
Totally different.
You know, so you want to look for more than the M69. You want to look at those conical little things coming out. And it's another one of those things. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. You know.
Only guitar Gibson ever made with white cream rings that wasn't a burst was. So if you wanted to spend $5,000 on a set of rings and you didn't want to get it from a burst,
Like a 175,
yeah, it's $295.
295. There you go.
As far as I know,
Same
right?
year.
Yeah.
So the
Same
175
ring.
with PAFs had what?
The $295, the Goldie. the gold Scotty Moore guitar.
I get that, but
With
there was hollow bodies in that time in '59. I think it was 175s.
With white rings.
I know they had humbucking pickups.
Yeah, they definitely had.
And what kind of rings did they have? That's my question.
Black.
They're black, yeah.
Black rings, for sure. The only other white ones were on the ES 295. So a lot of people would rob
That makes
those
sense,
rings
yeah. That makes
for the guitar.
That makes sense.
Dude, thank you for your time.
You got it, man.
Amazing.
Take care, guys.
All right.